Hi, animation fans. Welcome to another episode of Director's Cut. I'm your host, Greg, and this is where I work. This is my office at Swinburne. I teach film, motion graphics, and animation. Today, we have a very special guest in our studio, and as usual, all our guests are special. He describes himself as a colorblind hybrid programmer, designer. He does CG, VFX. He does game development, web development, 3D, 2D animation, and concept art. And he runs a very successful YouTube channel that shows his tutorials on how to do those excellent, realistic anime background visuals. And he's well known for that. And many people say, don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Today, we're going to find out why it is more important to be a jack of all trades. Welcome back, guys, to the show. You're watching Director's Cut with me, Greg, and we have a special guest in our studio today. His name is MCLELUN.
Hi, hello everyone.
So this is the first time we have an avatar in our as our guest, and it's a really cute avatar. We want to get to know MCLELUN first. Let me tell you, I first found out about MCLELUN online when I work because I teach animation. So I had to tell my students, how to do background for animation. So when I search online, you could only find McLellan's posts on how to do this animation, this hyper realistic anime style kind of background, which was fantastic. And he showed the process, and you could watch it. And so I wanted to find out from you what were your influences when you were young? Because I see your work is very anime influence like.
When I'm young, right, because I'm just like every other child, I watch like cartoons on TV, everything like that. But then slowly, I realized there is like this thing called anime, and then I watch like Studio Ghibli stuff. I realized that 2D animation, right, it can be used to tell a very serious story, unlike cartoon, which is sometimes very what is the word, slapstick, and very funny, just make people happy, right? But anime, sometimes they do it in a very serious tone. That's why I start to like love anime. Like sometimes, oh, I'm like very surprised. Like, wow, it can be this animation platform that can be used to tell a much more serious story. So like anime itself, like it sort of like shaped me. I mean, like influenced me since young. And then I also play a lot of games, like PC games, when young, because my father is also a programmer, a very first generation of
Ah,
programmer. Yeah, so I play a lot of like DOS games. I'm not sure like if the audience know what is the DOS, but it's
I
before
know.
Windows. Yeah, so like I play a lot of DOS games, everything like that, and then like it shaped me a bit also.
How about manga?
Yeah,
I'm sure, right?
yeah,
Manga
manga.
is
Yeah,
tied
manga.
to
So like last
anime.
time I watched like with my friend Dragon Ball, everything like that. But then like after a while, right, people like I mean like nowadays still a lot of people love Dragon Ball, right? Then I realized like manga. I start to read other type of manga. Like some is like again it's a very serious tone, like movie like. And there's one particular manga that it's my I think it's the top manga that I like. It's like it's called 20th Century Boys. That one is highly
Ah,
recommended. That one
yes,
shaped
yes.
me. It sort of like shaped me on how to do storytelling, the plot twist, how to grab the audience attention, everything like that. Yeah, I learned a lot by reading manga as well.
Yeah, so in the way you describe yourself,
Hmm.
you describe yourself as colorblind.
Yep.
What else? Let's see.
Hybrid
You mentioned
designer programmer.
hybrid programmer and designer, CG VFX, game development, web development, 3D, 2D animation, concept art, and also you teach as well, right? So this thing spans a lot of things, programming, multimedia, animation, and art. But how do you see yourself? Like, are you more of a techie guy or are you more of an art guy? How do you describe yourself?
Sometimes when people ask me what I do, right, it's a bit hard to describe because you see right from the description, like I do both the technical and the creative side. And I think the best way to describe myself maybe is like for nowadays, at least now, maybe we are creating stories, telling stories like that. Because like if I'm doing games, right, I want to do a games that is story-based games like RPG. If I'm doing animation, right, again, it's telling stories. If I have to do draw a comics, a manga, right, it's again telling stories. So maybe a storyteller is like much more fit to what I'm doing now. Yep, I guess that's the correct word, storytellers. Although it sounds
Right.
very simple, but it's sort of like cover all the area that I want to do: games, animation, and comics. All is storytelling.
How do you manage your focus? Because you're interested in so many things. How do you do that?
Yeah, there's another issue as well because like sometimes people would say, right, you tend to like do so many things, like how do you improve in one area, I think like that. Yeah, so like that one, I think you need to put in a bit of effort. Like if you, but I wouldn't really say like you have to push yourself or do anything because like when someone, right, let's say for me, right, when I love to do something, right, I will do that like with my own view. There's no like feeling, no bad feeling, or it's very hard to do or anything like that. I'm enjoying the process, like learning, creating the stuff, everything like that. So like the process is very enjoyable for me. It's like let's say like if I want to maybe okay between like different tasks, right, different scope of like area, maybe programming for games, drawing comics, making animation. It seems so different. Okay, but maybe let's say like for these 2 weeks, I want to do these games first, and then after if I got bored, then I can move on to the other things like animation. If I got bored again, then I can do comics. So like if you do many things, if you can do many things, right, it's actually sort of help. It's sort of help, Like sometimes when people like just draw, right, and then they burn out, they don't want to draw, and then they have nothing to do, and then they feel bad. But what if like you have so many things, so many hobbies, right? You sort of like have a lot of things that you can play with, experiment. So like it's much more fun in that way.
That's a very interesting way of looking at things. I think usually we hear the other side of it, which is, people always say, "Don't be a jack of all trades and master of none," and then you're giving another perspective, which is very different. But what do you think about that then? Jack of all trades and master of none. How do you go around that?
For me personally, I don't really believe that goes because like if I mean like there's nothing wrong if you just want to master one area. There's nothing wrong, but and there's nothing wrong as well if you want to do everything. Although like it's very obvious that when you do everything right, it takes much more time to master. I mean like to be good at everything. But there's one question there's only one question that you can ask if people throw that thing to you, right, that goes to you like jack of all trade, everything like that. You just ask like the person, have you mastered the area that's only area that you are doing with? Because I always found out, right, people that say this quotes, right, they never really master the only area that they are doing. Maybe there is, but sometimes it's not. So in conclusion, right, I think you don't take it too serious. Like just do more things. Your life is enjoy your life and then like experiment with different stuff, everything like that.
So I want to talk about how you ended up in the animation industry. I mean, you've done a lot of things already, right? It seems like a lot of things you are self-taught. Am I right to say that?
Yeah,
Self-taught.
correct.
Yeah.
Self-taught, yes.
Your actual formal training is in maybe IT and
IT.
computing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Programming,
Yep.
right?
Programming.
And how did you end up in the animation industry?
Because I'm a programmer, right? I want to do games, but unfortunately, when I graduated at that time, there's not much games company around in Malaysia, and that time there's no mobile app, there's no iOS, there's no Play Store, everything like that. So the only thing that I can do, luckily, that time, Flash is a very big thing. So there is a lot of like jobs for Flash games. So I joined a company which specialized in doing Flash games. So I did a lot of Flash game, and then I self-taught the Action Script 3 that time, Action Script, and then I do. And in by the way, during that time, right, because we are doing Flash, right, as we all know, Flash, which is called Adobe Animate now, is also used for animation. And that's the first time I think I sort of like teach myself how to do animation from doing game arts and game animation.
And so that led you on to film. And when you say film, was it more the projects that you were doing? Were they more about VFX and compositing and post production?
Yeah, VFX, pro production, the what is it called? The intro, everything like that, right? The motion graphic stuff. So like my company like do sometimes they will pitch this project to Astro, RTM, everything like that. So they have like sort of simple VFX like stuff that I do, everything like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna take a break, and when we come back from the break, we'll be talking about your latest short animation, Frame Memories. Okay, guys. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. You're watching Director's Cut with me, Greg. And today in our studio, we have MCLELUN, a wonderful guy, a multi-potentialite. He calls himself a colorblind programmer, and he does a lot of things. He does games, website, animation, art concept, etc., etc., etc. It never ends. Can you share with us your experience doing frame memories? This is your first complete short animation, right? Must be very exciting for you. How did you come up with the story? And was that your own personal story? Was it a real story?
Yep, it's my first. I mean, like it's my first animation, but it's not my. It's not a story based on myself, but it's actually this story. Like, how I came up with this idea is like sometimes like when I look at how people, right, the parents, how they teach their children, right. Sometimes I wonder if like there's one person like maybe the father or the mother, they unwillingly like take the take the side of like becoming the bad cop. You know, right? I always heard about the bad cop and the good cop. When you teach your children, right, one must be the one that is much more strict. And then I wonder like what if the father or the mother doesn't want to do that, but they have to do, and then like causing misunderstanding among the childrens. And then this one, what if it doesn't resolve, right, the misunderstanding, will it snowball to like a bigger issue in the future, like the sons doesn't want to talk with the father anymore or anything like that. So it makes me wonder because I'm still single, I doesn't have children. And then like, when I look at my parent, right, my father is much more strict. And then I wonder, did my father like pick up the bad cop role or anything like that? By the way, I'm still very okay with my dad, still happy family, everything like that. It's not based on me, the friend memories. So it actually, so this where the idea starts. Like, what if like there's one side they are unwillingly like pick up the role of like becoming the bad person. Like I doesn't. It's for me. It's very sad. That's why I want to do this frame memories, sort of to like remind people like maybe you have to look it in another directions, like another way to how to see how this thing work, everything like that. And then like maybe we can take a step back, and then like we see the whole situation. Maybe it's not as complicated as what we thought, and can be resolved much more easily. And then like everyone will have a happier life, I think, because our life is very short here. Like we need to enjoy our life. Yeah.
How long did it take you to do the production?
The pre-production, right, is actually we do it like on when, because this one is a side project, right, so my company actually have like other stuff to do. Like I only discuss about the story, we brainstorm a bit, like I actually like draw storyboard in stick figure first, and then like I have like different endings, and then the discussion itself like span maybe a few months, but we doesn't do it every day. It's like a side thing. And the production, I think we started like last year during the pandemic. Is I think most of the work is under, I guess, 6 months, but not every day 6 months because we are still doing other stuff as well.
Hmm.
I think we complete it in
Okay.
6 months. Yeah.
And what was the most challenging thing about this project?
The first thing first is actually the story itself. As you can see, right, it's just a very simple idea of like I'm just wondering what if like the father unwillingly become the bad cop. How do you do a story just based on this idea? There's the first challenge, a short animation. So I have to go through a lot of like brainstorm and then a storyboard. But luckily I managed to come up with something interesting. And then with the help, of course, with the help of a few friends from the movie industry, which I want to mention their name. The first person is Hazo Mahayudin. I call her Hazo. She's a very talented film producer, writer as well. So like she gives some very interesting idea which I incorporate into the frame memories. And then the next guy is Han. He's a storyboard artist, which he helped a lot in like planning the frames, everything like that. Yeah. So these two guys actually help us a lot. And everyone, of course, everyone in the office, we brainstorm a lot. That's the first challenge. The second challenge, of course, is we do this during the pandemic, right? And there is like sometimes like it's very hard to communicate like what I want, right? Like this thing, like right? Sometimes online communication tends to like cause like misunderstanding or anything like that. I don't want to appear to be very, right? Sometimes director can be very, I want to do it in this way, I want to do it in that way. So I have to like sometimes if I want something, right, I sort of maybe I have to tone down my word or find a better word to explain what I want, why I want that, so it doesn't cause misunderstanding and affect the productions, everything like that. Yeah. But usually I will try to help everyone because I always believe this one is a group project. Although it says, Loon, this is your animation, right? But I always believe the success of this animation is everyone's effort. So credits to everyone.
And the title is Frame. Was there another title earlier on before you settled with Frame Memories? Was there another title?
Yeah, there is another title. The working title is actually called The Families. It's very simple and then like
Yeah.
it's very
Mm.
straightforward. And then I sort of like during the meeting, right, we discussed it's like too simple. Like if you Google The Families, right, your animation won't come out or anything like that. It's too common. So we have to find another name for that. So like we discussed with the writers in R&D. Uh, her name is Zaida and Farhana. So like they sort of like discuss and then they come up with this name, Frame Memories, which I quite like. And because it sort of like fit to the theme of the frame memories as well, the painting, the
Yeah.
photo, the door frame, everything
Yeah.
like that.
And
Yeah.
the
Yeah, the
door,
door
the
frame.
door
Yeah.
is always in the center.
Yeah. That's my idea. The door.
What did the door represent for you?
The door in the animation, right? A bit of spoiler lah. So for people that
Oh,
haven't
okay.
watched, they have to go to watch now.
Is there a
Okay,
way
with the headset
to?
on. Yeah, with the headset on, because the music is very good. It's did by the a guy, this very talented guy called Andrew Bong. He's the music producer for Upin Ipin movie. So like as highly suggested, everyone go to watch the animation with high quality headsets. It's like okay, back to the door, right? The door is actually right, is part of my childhood memories. I'm not sure about you. Because I used to like if you notice the animation, right, there's one part the boy climbs up the door or everything like that. Actually, I did that too. Like, and then I noticed it's sort of like when I do storyboard, right? I noticed like there is a lot of memories. At least my memories is revolve around the doors, like taking how tall I am, right? You drawing the line, and then the mom like taking care of the babies is still around the door. It's the area lah. I'm not sure about everyone else, but for me, it's like part of my memories.
And the usual process. I think for people who are interested to know how to create the backgrounds that you create, they can actually go to your YouTube channel, right? You actually show how it's done, right? Can you share with everyone what's the name of your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is same as my nickname here, MCLELUN. Just go to YouTube and search its
Okay.
nickname. When you see this computer head, then that's my channel. That's my avatar.
Yeah. So when did you come up with this avatar? It's very interesting.
Okay, this one is also it's quite long ago. I think maybe it's more than 10 years ago. It's like when I first start working. Right, there's this colleague. She told me that, "Hey, Lun, you draw, right? You guys." He told me that I can actually post my artwork online. So like from the time, right, because I just start to work, right, I'm from IT, so I doesn't have anything to post online. So I just like quickly, I don't know why I just suddenly want to have the urge to draw this like computer head, and then I there's the first artwork I Is I think it's the first few artwork I post online, and from that point onwards, I just sort of like keep on doing that, people's, and then like people sort of like they see this avatar as me because I've been keep on posting this, right?
When I see the type of monitor that you have on your head, I know from which year you come from.
Yeah, now we just use a flat screen right now.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have more of you to discuss about when we come back. We'll take a short break. Welcome back again. This is Director's Cut. I'm your host, Greg, and Lun is in the studio with us. We are going to talk about the animation industry and what's in store for us and what Lun has in his plans. So, your latest project is, I think you launched your figurines, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
The figurine is a collaboration with a friend. So like my friend, he want to start a toys company, and he actually like invited like three designers to do the designs. One is me, and then the other guy is Kenji Black Friday, which is a who is a very popular street artist, and then he worked with a lot of popular brands. And then there's one more unannounced. I know who is him, but it's not announced yet, so I think I shouldn't mention his name yet. So like there's the three. It's like start from these three designers. I'm one of them. Yeah, it's very simple. It's just a friend, like like through the friendship thing, right? You say, hey, Lun, I want to do a toy based on your character. I really like this character. Originally, I want to give him another design. He said, no, I just want this character. And then I saw, okay, I'll do the design, everything like that. And then I'm jack of all trades, right? I can straight away model my toy and then send it to a 3D printer and print it out and then adjust from the 3D printed model. And because of that, right, my toy came out first because I can model, right. The process is like save a lot of time already and then save a lot of money.
Can I know whether you have plans for your next project?
After I finish the first Spectrum project, the anthology, right, the frame memories, we actually like plan to do another one like in the future. I actually already have like two more ideas, which I hope can be we have like sponsors or anything like that. So just wait for that, maybe Spectrum project.
So right now is 2021. What what or who will McLelun be in 2025?
Our life is very, how to say, impermanence. We don't know what will happen next, right? So like I don't. Sometimes I have plans that stuff that I want to do, but I don't really like say I must do this. I must make it happen. I'm not that guy. I'm more to a guy that like just live your current moment, enjoy your life, everything like that. Appreciate the moment. I'm that's just that guy. I'm a simple person.
So do you have any words of advice for those who are thinking of getting into animation?
You must keep your passion towards your works and then like don't burn up yourself. That one is very important because I always seen people, right, when they draw something and then like they burn out and then they don't want to draw anymore. And so remember to take rest, take a break. It's okay to do that. The most important thing I think is to enjoy the creation and to enjoy the process, like creating your art, everything like that. Yeah. If you don't enjoy, then it's like you won't last very long. You will just like give up your dream, everything like that. And to give up your dream is a very sad thing to happen. So try to enjoy what you do. It's very simple. Yep.
Okay, that wraps up the show for today. I want to
Okay.
thank you for taking time to join us in this
Yeah. No
show.
problem.
It has
Yeah.
been a learning experience for all of us here. And I think we've got a pretty good takeaway from your session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
We will continue to bring more inspiring guests and creatives and animation companies in the episodes to come. So hopefully we can build this industry together. So don't miss the upcoming episodes. We are on air every Sunday on TBS, 7:15 p.m. We're also on Astro 122 and also My Freeview TV. And until then, let's continue to build this creative industry. I'm Greg, signing off.